When watching the play, I focus on the adjustments made to the actors' costumes. The high class of outfit from the Renaissance were used throughout the play. While there were instances of bright color from the Renaissance, they were not the focus of the play. There were more muted and darker colors used as opposed to their brighter counterparts. There were also not as many layered clothes used in the production. There is not a lot of silk, satins, and velvet used in the play, which is different from the typical Renaissance depiction. Hippolyta and Oberon's outfits were designed with a more African theme. Oberon's outfit was similar to an African warrior king, showcasing his dark skin and muscular body. Hippolyta's costume made a stark contrast to her husband's. Although both black in color, the designs heavily differed from one another. Both Oberon and Hippolyta's costumes were still regal in design, but were less European in appearance. I believe Tamor made these changes to better fit the actors that were playing the role and to show that the play could be more inclusive for everyone. The rude mechanicals costume were contemporary in design and noticeably different from the majority of the cast. Their costumes were indicative that they were similar to the modern-day average worker. I think Tamor made these changes to the costumes for the contemporary audience to have a better understanding of the character status if they were not familiar with the Renaissance. The children are integrated into the play by setting the tone for the scene with their voices. When Puck first enters the play, the children's voices are excited and whimsical. When they sing Titania to sleep, they are sweet and melodic. The children are also used as the natural root elements of the play. For example, they created the forest by holding the branches of bamboo themselves and swinging it back and forth. At the beginning of the play, Puck appears to fall asleep in a bed. I first thought that the director was trying to signify that the play was simply a figment of Puck's dream. However, after watching the documentary and listening to the words of the actress and director themselves, I gained a deeper understanding of what the opening scene was trying to convey. It was less about the play being Puck's dream, but rather an invitation to the play itself. The point behind the opening scene was to draw the audience in and to ask them to follow along and dream with Puck. What I think the play says about power is that during this time period, women did not have full autonomy over their own body and decisions. Older men were the ones making the decisions for their wives and daughters. Women's feelings and beliefs were reduced to nothing before the court of law that was heavily influenced by the beliefs and traditions of men. For example, Hermia was not allowed to marry the man she wanted to marry and was given the choice to either marry the man her father betrothed her to live in seclusion as a nun, or to die. This highlights the fact that the women had their decisions made for them and were unable to go against them unless they chose to die for their beliefs. The casting of Theseus and Aegus as older white men having power over a young woman's life is reminiscent of the structure of the American government having the power over the livelihood of women. One visual in the production that interested me was Puck's entrance into the play. The cracking of the sky as Puck was attempting to break through reality and enter the fairy world was mesmerizing. As the hole opened and Puck's body descended from the sky, there was a tether to the world Puck had left, and it was severed as they hit the ground. It was interesting to me because it was a visual that I had never experienced before. For me, it was innovative and intriguing. Two questions I'd like to pose for my peers. The first being, how do you think the lighting of the forest added to the mood? And does Julie Taymor's vision of the play stray too far away from Shakespeare's original depiction?